Agatha Kalpana Vijay, studying in 11th Science at Agasti Arts, Commerce and Dadasaheb Rupvade Science College, Akole. Today is 15th October, which we celebrate as Reading Day to pay homage to our former President APJ Abdul Kalam. He loved to read and write, and this is why we celebrate Reading Day to encourage the young generations like you and me to read and write and develop it as a hobby. On this occasion today, I will be reviewing the book The Guide written by R.K. Narayan. The legendary R.K. Narayan was born in Madras of South India, and he is undoubtedly the best novelist out there, and he is very famous for his writing based in the fictional town of Malgudi in South India. Today, I'll be reviewing the book The Guide written by R.K. Narayan. The legendary R.K. Narayan was born in Madras of South India. He is undoubtedly one of the most amazing writers out there, and he is very famous for his work and all the stories based off the fictional town named as Malgudi. The Guide has won him his major award named as the Sahitya Academy Award. The story of this book is based in the town of Malgudi, just like other books as well. So the main focus of this story is Raju, his lifestyle, his life and his unexpected fame. So in his childhood, Raju was a type of kid who didn't like to go to school or study. Instead, he stayed home and played under the tamarind tree which was near his house all day. Raju's father had a small shop on the Malgudi railway station, and so many peasants and also like the passengers and other taxi drivers came by and stopped there. He sold tobacco, peppermints, candies and all the stuff which we normally get at a small grocery store. So it was quite a popular shop. So it was Raju's duty to sit at the shop while his father went to eat lunch. So it was a routine thing for Raju to sit at his father's shop. Raju's father changes his school. Now his new teacher is violent and abusive. He is not interested in teaching at all. His only interest in those students is the 1 rupee they carry and the things they bring to him. And because he is not interested, he used to get irritated if any student makes any mistakes. So every month, Raju's father used to send 2 cubes of jaggery for the teachers, and while others like students carried vegetables, rice, etc. for the teacher. After a while, during rainy seasons, unfortunately, Raju's father passes away. His mother adjusts herself to the status of a widow. Raju gives her as much time as possible, but now it is his duty to run the household, so he takes on the responsibility of his father's shop. Now, since it is his responsibility, he starts to grow new bonds, new lines. So, Raju actually starts stocking newspapers and magazines and buying and selling school books on the shop. So gradually we could see that there are books, novels and newspapers and magazines and school books instead of the coconuts before. And like while stocking these things and all these things, Raju actually read those things, and surprisingly he had learned so many new things by just reading from those scraps. This went on, and later Raju was now known as the Railway Raju. The reason behind that of course like all the passengers who are coming on this way and going out the station used to stop by Raju, and they would ask him that, do you know when this will train arrive, and do you know directions of this specific place, or do you know any historical places out there? And Raju never ever replied with, I don't know this stuff. Actually, he was so polite and he used to tell, of course, the directions are this, and he used to tell, haven't you seen this place? This is amazing. You should definitely go visit the place. So he was just so polite to everyone. The next question would be like, can you please show me where are the taxis so I can go there and stuff like that. So he was like getting famous so much, and eventually he became a tourist guide. Now the event took turn when Marco and his wife Rosie came to the Malgudi station. Marco was an academically obsessed person who loved hunting down Asian caves to study, while Rosie was a great dancer and she was a woman of dreams. Now Marco didn't pay attention to his wife at all. Actually, he hated dancing so much. He used to say or think that dancing is a disgraceful activity. He never supported her, never organized her art of dancing or anything like that. Now, since Raju was so popular, Marco actually hired him to be his guide to show him the Asian caves in Malgudi and outside the Malgudi. Now, since he was not paying attention to his wife, Raju actually started spending time with Rosie more and more. And soon he fell in love with her. And when Marco got to know about their relationship, he disowned his wife Rosie and went back home. After that, actually Raju became Rosie's guide. Now, as he was setting her up to be a great dancer, and eventually she became a celebrity. So now, as money was pouring in, Raju adapted to the luxurious life, and eventually he was addicted to gambling and drinking and stuff like that. And gradually Rosie lost interest in her art, which she once craved for, and she was actually quite fed up of her circus existence. But this was not the mess. The mess was created when Raju actually forged Rosie's signature in the connection of a jewelry box which was released from the bank, and actually it was in the joint names of Marco and Rosie. And for this, Raju was punished 2 years in jail. After 2 years, Raju was finally released from the jail. He takes shelter in the deserted temple of river Sarayu. So it was like a temple near the river banks of Sarayu, which was like few miles away from Malgudi. Now the villagers thought of him as a Mahatma. So they started to worship him and get him presents and edibles, vegetables and more things. So Raju was getting quite comfortable and he played the role of the saint quite to perfection. So this was going on. One day there was a famine in that village. Now since they were worshipping Raju and seeing him as a saint or a Mahatma, they expected him to do some kind of miracle to bring the rain for the people. Now Raju had to do something, right? So Raju decided to fast for rain to come. And this was going on, and this actually attracted a lot of attention. A lot of people came from outside and far from to take Raju's darshan. Now these things were all going on, the people were coming in, his fast was going on, and on the 12th day, Raju was exhausted and he fell down. Now, Narayan has left the readers to imagine the rest of it. So this was actually the end of the story, and it is up to the readers what to expect, because it was not specified if Raju was fainting or he died at that moment. It was not specified. So Narayan has actually left the readers to imagine what could have happened. So this is not a typical happy ending we receive, but I would definitely like to say that it is a very interesting take on the storytelling and ending of a story, because we get more of the imaginary perspective and it allows us to be more imaginary. Another thing I would like to say that Narayan was very well aware of the human relationships and how they work, how they develop, how they degenerate, how they generate, how they improve based on the circumstances of life. Now in this story, Narayan has actually presented two sides of the story. First was Raju's life as the railway Raju and his relationship with Rosie. and the other was his life and relationship with the villagers as a saint. So I would like to say that R.K. Narayan has presented a character that transformed from a sinner to be a saint. So it has played out quite well, as you can tell seeing from Raju. And another themes which can be seen in the story, that is faithfulness versus betrayal. So there are quite a lot of different themes in this story which R.K. Narayan has introduced us to, and there are so many new things we can tell. So lastly, before I end this video and book review, I'd like to say that if you are a teenager, please read this book. And anywhere, you can read this book no matter what is your age, but especially if you are a teenager, you should definitely read this book. I read this book 3 years back and I can still remember everything, just like if I read that yesterday. So yeah, from this book I have learned so many new things, and I have gained perspective of life as well, and developed a greater perspective and understanding of life. Now with this, I would like to say that keep reading, keep writing, and have a nice day.